Who are you? The colloquial question we ask ourselves whenever we want to find out something about a person we just met and try and at least categorize them in a fashion of acquaintance, friend, best friend, or instant family member. Sometimes people have chemistry to determine those sorts of things. And that is exactly what Royce the 5'9" answers on this album. The album is called The Book of Ryan, and it was released on Friday, and I had an episode previously recorded, and I scrapped it entirely because the words that I had spoken did not give the album its due diligence. So I'm hoping that this episode, in its re-recorded format, can at least say exactly what it's supposed to mean. This album starts off with Royce saying that he is blessed to be alive. He is blessed to at least gotten some decent sleep. He's very happy to be 5 years sober, and he has a new outlook on life, and he no longer sees himself to be in his prime. He can always do better, and if anyone else could take a page from his notebook at the very beginning of this album, there are definitely times where our favorites could still improve. Jay-Z definitely saw that with Magna Carta, and then he brought out 444. Like, holy crap. But anyway, this album starts off with a song called Woke, and this is basically the summary of all the innocence in younger children before they start realizing the evils that go on in the world, whether it's political, social injustice, etc. And it's just something that we can all understand. We can all look back when we were younger and see all these things that he's referencing. One lyric that resonated personally with me is, "This is for those who don't know their pops ain't invincible yet." And I had a personal interaction with that a couple years ago. My father was in a car accident, and before that he could run around with 20-year-olds and do a whole bunch of physical demanding activities, and now he can still do it, but he just can't do it to the full extent of what he could before. So it's kind of harrowing to see that and know that even he knows that. The second song on this album is Caterpillar, which features Eminem. And I just have to say one small thing. Where the hell were you on Revival? Where was this Eminem? Because this Eminem is the guy that made Rap God. This is the guy that made Stan. This is the guy that made Cleaning Out My Closet. Like, where were you? Because if you put him on the album for 4 songs and then you scrapped him for the rest of it to do some regulated pop shit, it's totally understandable that you want to be marketable to the mainstream audience as you always have been, but you've been doing it raw for years, and then all of a sudden you decide to put the condom on. It makes no sense. Anyway, Royce kills the shit out of the song. He does so freaking well. He just goes off, and oh man, this is like one of the coolest songs he's ever made. Now, following this is a song called Godspeed, and it's basically Royce just lyrically flexing. He's just doing his thing. It's not about wishing people well or anything like that. He's just doing his thing. He's reflecting on his life. And he's also rapping. It's just wordplay for days, much like how Royce delivers on every song that he's ever written. A song after this is called Dumb, which features the brand new Shady Records signee, Boogie. And I had not heard anything from him outside of a couple singles that he released after he got signed and the BET Cypherverse that he had done. And honestly, his first feature with a Shady Records conspirator like Royce the 5'9", it's totally freaking awesome. And I think he's on the hook too. But holy crap, this guy has just everything. He's got everything in a tiny little ball. He's almost like a dumpling of an artist. He's got everything in there, man. He's got everything in there. Him and Royce definitely made a fantastic song, and Royce was killing shit too. He was just going off in the industry. It was almost like a new day and age, the industry is punks. And if no one knows who that song is by, it's by Tech 9. Anyway, the song after this is not a song, it's a skit. And it's basically Royce talking to his son about his interactions with his father through a dream. And I'm guessing it's Royce sitting there talking to his son, and then all of a sudden he's like daydreaming and then snaps back into reality. And his son's asking him about who he is. Like, who are you? Because I want to write this paper on someone that truly inspires me, and you're that person. But I only know that you're my dad. I don't know a whole lot about you, so who are you? This leads into a song called Cocaine, which has Royce singing on the song, and holy cow, you can feel the emotion. You can feel the interactions that he had with his father when he was talking about going out to the car and finding cocaine in it, and then telling his dad, he's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's just a friend's. Oh, by the way, don't tell your mom that there was cocaine in the car. Because, dude, that's heavy shit. That is heavy shit. I didn't know his dad was addicted to cocaine. I didn't know that his mom was abused. I didn't know that they grew up in a household like that. I thought things were just copacetic. I even listened to some of Kid Vicious's music, his brother, and he never talked about anything like that as far as I've heard. But this album just keeps going into more and more amazing music, one of them being the lead single for the album, which is called Boblo Boat, that features J. Cole. And J. Cole references all the times that he'd had that basically put him in a state of bliss when he was younger, much like how Royce did. Royce was talking about his family mini vacations to the amusement park as he went across the water on the Boblo Boat. And it was very just innocent and happy. It was a very happy song. Although there were instances of, these are the things that led to me becoming an alcoholic, or me feeling complete and utter fear because, just certain life things happened on there that I don't want to speak of. It's nuts. When you try and cancel out all the bad with 5 seconds of good, it really shows how much you try and not focus on what's really happened in your family over the years. Another amazing song on here is another just lyrically killing song called Summer on Lock. And that song has Pusha T, Fabulous, Jadakiss, and that some other guy. I can't remember his name. Holy crap, I can't remember his name. But anyway, there's some amazingness on the beat when it just kicks in. I knew it was going to be a Pusha T verse or hook because I didn't look at the album credits, but when I heard him start, I was like, yes! Holy shit, yes! Anyway, Royce has a really cool line on here. He says, I'm so far ahead in time, I'm about to start another life, which I thought was a video game reference, like a one-up type thing, but I might be wrong with that. I don't care. That was just really cool that he did that. That was the biggest line that stood out. I didn't expect Fabulous on here either, because 9 times out of 10 you don't hear Fabulous and Royce da 5'9" on the same song. It was really cool. Song after this is called Amazing, which is a really funny song. It's not like We Made You or Without Me, but it's funny because Royce is talking about an interaction that he had with a store clerk growing up. The guy was like, hey, you can't bounce that ball in here. And he's like, I'm going to bounce the ball anyway. And it was signed by Isaiah Thomas, and the guy took the ball away from him. And it was just him talking about his life and how things just, you don't need to have a certain thing in your possession to be amazing. You have the ability to be amazing all your own. You just need to make it happen. One of the most amazing songs on here, which is almost like his version of Cleaning Out My Closet, is Power. And that talks about 2 different occasions of abuse in the household from his father. And the first one is Christmas, when his mother is being abused and he's trying not to focus on it. He's thinking about the gifts that he had previously gotten, He-Man action figures with Castle Grayskull and all those like major characters in that. And it's kind of strange that you would be focusing on that, and then all of a sudden, seconds after that, you find out that Santa's not real. I'm sorry for the kids out there that are watching this. And then the second and third part of the song go into Thanksgiving, when his brother Greg comes back to the house completely wasted. And there are certain standards when it comes to coming inside of someone's house, especially your family members. You should at least not come into the house drunk. If you don't live there and you're trying not to start anything, don't come into the house drunk. So I understand that rule. And Royce talks about how his brother's like, I don't really care what our father wants. I'm going to stand up to him today because of all the abuse that he had seen in the past, even though it was only a few instances. It wasn't anything major or long-lasting. It was just a couple disciplinary things. Now, the things with his mother are totally different. But Royce describes how his father punched his brother so hard he went into the oven, slammed into the oven door, the glass broke, and the turkey went out of the oven and landed over by the stairs to the basement, which is totally, it's just a very descriptive image. Royce is a very descriptive writer. He knows how to properly create an image in your head, that way you know you're there. You're literally there. You are watching it go down. His storytelling skills have always been off the charts, but this is definitely one personal story that you can feel in your bones. This song gave me goosebumps. Now, one last song on here that I want to cover is called Strong Friend. And this is Royce basically talking in term for himself and all the other people that see themselves as the strong friend. One person that's always there for their friends. One person that always takes their problems on, even though they don't ever talk about their problems. They don't talk about the things that are weighing on them. They always remain quiet. They always remain smiling and happy. And that strong friend might need to be checked up on, because if they're not talked to, then they might end up themselves taking their lives. The people that he referenced were Capital Steez and Chester Bennington. And those two are definitely one of the most inspirational people before and after their passing. Because Steez was a very talented artist, and Chester Bennington was definitely one of the people to lay down a legacy in part hip-hop, part rock music. So it's really fresh and happy. It provides a happy feeling to me as a listener to hear somebody talk about something like that, because you can only talk about suicide for so long before you start to make it personal. Because Joyner Lucas did I'm Sorry, and that was a very personal way to approach it. Logic did it at a very marketable standpoint, but he still made it personal. And Royce himself had made it personal because he sees himself as the strong friend. But he wants to let you know, check up on your strong friend. All in all, this album is utterly amazing. If I had to compare it to another two albums, in an underground sense, I would compare it to Desire by Pharoah Monch. That album is utterly amazing start to finish, and most of the production, if I'm not mistaken, was handled by Mr. Porter, or Con Artist from D12. And from a mainstream sense, I would compare this album to Illmatic, because the storytelling capability and the lyricism on the album has always been at the top, something that everybody always references, and this album should be one of those albums. This is an album that helps you sit outside of yourself and ask the question, who are you? With that being said, my name is Ethan, otherwise known as Two-Face. This is episode 27 of Claws. 27, everybody. I am happy to have this show going on. I saw recently we hit 18 subscribers, which is totally amazing. And the Pookie Baby review has like 141 views or something like that. Last time I checked, it was 141 views. It's utterly amazing. You guys are awesome. Keep sharing it. I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know if it's just random people finding it. If it is, cool. I don't care. You guys are awesome anyway. The people that find the videos are awesome. You guys are great. And it's just utterly amazing. This adventure on YouTube is definitely getting more and more interesting day by day. And I want to keep it going. Now, tune in Wednesday when I review the debut album from the brand new Strange Music signee, Joey Cool. The title is Joey Cool. It's a self-titled album. I really enjoyed that, but that's all I'm going to say so far. So please, check out the links in the description, because this album is one that should not be slept on. Don't sleep on it. It's down there. It's calling your name. It's calling your name. Listen to it, please. It's awesome. Start to finish. It's amazing. Check up on your strong friend. I will see everybody on Wednesday. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.